Okay, boys, come and eat.
Oh, boy,
now,
this looks so
Mason,
good.
stop it,
so
and you
hungry.
take your hat off, and both of you go to the table. I have prepared this wonderful meal. Okay, boys,
So
let's
good,
sit
Mom.
down and have
Let's eat
lunch.
before I starve to death. I'm so hungry.
Okay, now, Mason, just keep your hands
Mom,
down. Let's
I'm
have
so
some
hungry.
Stop,
Mom.
stop. Now, Mason, now just wait until you get this napkin. There you go. Okay.
Mason,
What?
pass a saw, you Bogart.
Oh, I forgot the cups.
Is that yellow water, or is that just red punch?
Just punch, I think.
You better not be drinking out of that pitcher.
Oh no, dear, we would never do that.
Oh, Mason, you need some social skills training.
Mason's social blunders will likely not enhance his success in school, at home, on the job, or in his other personal relationships. He is likely to encounter serious adjustment problems in adulthood. Mason could use a few lessons in looking and acting good.
A growing body of literature suggests that an individual's repertoire of social skills has profound implications for nearly every facet of life. In fact, the central importance of social skills for school and post-high school success would demand that this curricular area receive a top instructional priority.
Refer to page 1 in the instructional packet which accompanies this video training series. After completing this part of the training, you should be able to define social skills, explain the importance of teaching social skills, and discuss skill deficiencies and performance problems as related to social skills instruction. Until recently, social skills training has not been recognized as a necessary part of the basic school curriculum. Promising research efforts have shown, however, that instruction in this area can improve peer-to-peer interaction skills and social acceptance of students.
I didn't know how we were supposed to set up the answer sheet. Could you please explain?
Yeah, we just need the name and the date at top. And then fold the paper in half. And put 1 through 10 on one side and 11 through 20 on the other.
Okay, thank you.
Great. How did that one go, you guys? That was good, wasn't it?
Look at the bottom of page 1 in your packet. Here you will see a definition for social skills. Social skills are those interpersonal behaviors that permit an individual to interact successfully with others in the environment. These include both verbal and nonverbal skills that a person uses to interact with others, which result in a mutually beneficial and reinforcing encounter. Additionally, social skills allow one to cope and adapt effectively with the social environment. Now turn to page 2. Several benefits of training students in social skills are listed. Stop the tape and review this list with a partner.
Look at the following classroom examples of social skills instruction in action. This teacher is teaching students the steps for following instructions.
Things that we need to do when you follow directions. The first one is to look and listen. Say it with me. Look and listen. Second one is to ask
questions.
Yeah, and you're going to ask questions. Let's do it. It's just, when we do it, we're just going to say ask. What are we going to say? We're just going to say what? Ask. Okay. Number 3, what you're going to do on number 3, you're going to repeat it to yourself. And I'm just going to put the word repeat. You. And step 4, is to do it. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Mari?
What the teacher asks you to do.
Right, whatever I tell you to do. If I say, class, right now I see some students that are sitting in their desk the way they shouldn't, so I want to have the class members, I want you to have your feet down so that they're not up in your chairs. Good, I just gave you something to do. And what did you do? You did it. That was good. Now when I said that, I saw people, they were looking and listening.
In this example, the social skill being addressed is making a clarification.
What are some other reasons you might want to ask for a clarification? Think of it with your friends, maybe, or your parents. When you're going, wanting to go out with your friends at night and you're not quite sure what time it was your parents said to come back, would that be a good time to ask for a clarification? And you didn't understand what that person was saying to you, it would be important to ask for a clarification then so that you don't get into trouble, okay? So there are a lot of good reasons as to why we should ask for clarification. And the first rule in there is to get the person's attention.
In this situation, the students are learning how to make a request.
Make a request is a little bit different from the social skill we talked about last week. Last week we talked about negotiations. Do you remember that? Make a request. When do you make a request? When do you make a request? Well, there are lots of different times that you do it. Just think about what you've been doing today. I need eyes right up here, okay? Great. When do you make a request? Jory, thanks for raising your hand.
I don't understand.
When you don't understand something, okay, you could make a request to have somebody explain something again. Okay, that's a clarification. Great. Mike?
When you want something.
When you want something, if you wanted something from somebody, how are they going to ever know if you don't make a request?
In all of these examples, the teacher has selected specific social skills where students have skill deficits. That means that the students do not know how to perform a particular social skill. The teacher needs to teach the skill through direct and systematic teaching approaches. Examples of these strategies will be further demonstrated and clarified later in this program. In some cases, students know how to perform a particular social skill, but choose not to demonstrate it. Preventative measures and principles of behavior management need to be used in these cases. Refer to page 3 in your packet. Here you see a flowchart that illustrates in more detail the differences between skill deficits and performance problems. Now complete the self-check activity on page 4 to validate your accomplishment of the 3 objectives for this part of the training video. Stop the tape and discuss your answers with a partner before continuing on with this presentation.
Refer to page 5 in your packet. After completing this part of the video training series, you will be able to identify social skills that are commonly taught to students, describe basic instructional methods used in teaching social skills, explain effective feedback procedures used for correct responses and errors, discuss procedures used to promote maintenance and generalization of social skills training, and describe procedures for blending social skills training into an instructional program. Your accomplishment of these objectives will provide you with important skills for improving the behavior of your students.
Look at the flowchart on page 6 of your packet. This graphic depicts the steps in the process for designing a social skills program. Identify the social skills, teach the specific skills, promote generalization and maintenance, and evaluate the effectiveness of the program. The first step is to identify the social skills that need to be taught. This can be accomplished in a variety of ways. Look at page 7. Different methods from teacher observation to formal screening are listed as ways to help you determine which social behaviors are needed by your students. Additionally, a rather comprehensive list of social skills has been included in Appendix A to assist you in selecting the social skills that you might want to teach.
Are you aware of the 2 most frequently mentioned social skills? That is, the ones most teachers identify as deficient in most students? They are following instructions and accepting feedback or criticism. Stop the tape and review the list of social skills contained in Appendix A. Then select 3 social skills from the list that you believe would be priorities in your teaching. Record these on page 8 of your packet. Complete this activity with a partner and discuss the skills that you selected.
Look again at the flowchart at the top of page 9. Notice that the next step involves the actual teaching of the identified social skill. Review the definition of social skills training on page 9. The teaching procedures which will be demonstrated in this training video reflect modern psychology's social learning theory combined with education's most effective teaching principles and procedures.
The actual procedures which have been proven to be more effective than others are the use of objectives, rationales, modeling, concept teaching, role-playing, rehearsal, practice, coaching, and feedback which is provided for correct performance or when a student makes an error. Stop the tape and review the description of each teaching element on page 9. Watch the following teaching scenario. Some of the important teaching elements will be highlighted as this teacher conducts a social skills lesson.
You may turn in an assignment, and the assignment may be wrong, or there may be something that you need to fix on it. And that's criticism. Well, I want to teach you how to accept criticism, the appropriate way to accept criticism. And why is it important for you to accept criticism? Think, why is it important for you to accept criticism? Good, I'm glad you got it, Steph, but just wait a minute. I want the rest of the class to be thinking. I want you to think of why it's important for you to accept criticism, and then I want you to tell someone around you what you thought about. Okay, Trudy?
So you don't get in a fight?
Good. Jordy?
It helps you learn.
Well, there are three steps in accepting criticism. I'm going to write those on the board. I want you to pay attention to those. And then we're going to go over them together. The first one is to look at the person. In fact, and I'm just going to put look at the person. And I passed out cards. If you'll take those cards out that were on your desk, turn to the side that says how to accept criticism. So that's step 1. It was to look, and what you're doing, you're just looking at the person. Step 2 is to say okay. And you're just going to say okay. And what step 3 is to no arguing. Make sure I spell it right, A-R-G, arguing. Okay, so those are the 3 steps in accepting criticism. Okay, I want to practice with you. And I'm going to sit down up here at a chair at the table, and I'm going to have a teacher come by, and one of you get to be the teacher. Who would like to be the teacher? Okay, let's have Steph, why don't we have you be the teacher? Okay.
Mr. Moore, it looks like you have number 2 wrong.
Okay. Thanks. Now, we're going to have some opportunities, I think, every day, because as you turn in assignments, I'm going to correct them. Sometimes I have to tell you, criticism may be you're talking. And if you're talking and I just say, for example, let's say that Audrey's talking and she's talking with Kathy, right? And they're talking back and forth. Now, I'm going to give them some criticism, and the criticism, I'm just going to say, girls, you need to stop that. And let's see if they can do it. Okay, you got it? And let's see how they accept the criticism, girls, and follow the 3 steps. Okay, you got to talk a little bit louder than that. Come on, let's do that. Oh my God. Good. Audrey, Kathy, you need to be working on your assignment. Okay. Good. Okay, now see what they did? They did look up at me. They said, okay. Is there any problem with that? Now, they shouldn't get upset, because I'm just giving them some criticism. They'll accept the criticism with no arguing. So what are you going to do? What are the steps you're going to follow, guys? Let's say them out together. One.
Look at the person.
Okay, you're going to look at the person, say the whole thing. This is just to help remind you. One, you can look at your cards if you need to. You have your cards there. So the first thing you're going to do is what? Look at the person. Two, say okay. Three, no arguing. We have been discussing accepting criticism. Before the bell rings, I want to give you an assignment in accepting criticism. I guarantee, class, sometime between now and the time you come back to class, someone's going to give you a criticism. Either your parents or someone else. I want you to think in your mind someone you think will possibly give you a criticism. You got it? Maybe your parents, maybe a brother, maybe a coach. I want you to think that in your mind and that you're going to follow the 3 steps. And then you're going to report back tomorrow how well you did. Can you do that?
Now, view the next teaching episode. Each of the elements will again be highlighted as this teacher conducts a different social skills lesson. Using page 10 of your packet, make note of the effective teaching elements you observe as well as any elements that were not observed during this lesson.
Now, let's talk about asking for a clarification. It's important to ask for a clarification because sometimes, say for example, when you're given an assignment, you don't understand what the assignment is, you might spend downtime just sitting in your seats, right? And it might be something you need to get done fast before you can move on to something else. Or wonder if it's an assignment sheet or something you're working on and you start doing it wrong. Okay? That can have problems for you too. What are some other reasons you might want to ask for a clarification? So anytime you need to ask for a clarification, make sure you get my attention or whoever it is you're working with, and then ask for the clarification. Whatever it is, the information that you don't understand, you need to ask for it. Anything else? Okay, you've asked me to do something special for you, and that's to make clear what it is you didn't understand. What might you want to do at the end of that to make me feel good about having helped you out? Let's see, who haven't I called on? Anybody back there that might know the answer? You guys have all had a lot of really good ideas. Anybody on that back row? Putting the pressure on. Okay, Stephanie, what?
Say thank you.
Okay, you might want to thank the person. Okay. Thank that person for helping you out. Let's practice this a little bit. In the first role play, like all the different role plays that we've done, I'll practice and have someone come out of the group here and have you come up and help me. Okay, I'll be the student. I won't understand the math, and you're going to be Ms. Likens, okay? And I'm going to ask for a clarification, and you tell me if I followed all the rules. If I missed a rule, you need to tell me what it is that I missed. She's right. If there were a class going on here, would it have been good for me just to yell her name out like that? What do you think? Yes? No? No. Okay, I think it would have been better if I'd raised my hand, right? Bernard, I'm going to have you come right up here. Would you like to be the teacher? I know, that's why I'm calling on you. Come on. Every once in a while, we'll do this. You know how much fun it is, right? Okay, let's think of a situation in that Bernard can be, what's your last name, Bernard? I forgot.
Benninger.
Say it again.
Benninger.
Benninger? Okay, so you want to be Mr. Benninger? Okay. And then you're going to be the student, so you're going to call on the teacher to explain what? What's he having a problem with? They always ask that question, don't they? But remember, what you're doing is asking for a clarification. That would just be asking for information. So that's something you don't understand.
You will now have an opportunity to design a lesson for one of the social skills you identified earlier in this program. Turn to page 11 in your packet. Write a teacher's script for each of the elements using the information provided to guide you through this activity. You may want to refer to some additional sample teaching scripts contained in Appendix B. Stop the tape and complete this activity. Refer to page 12 in your packet and notice the next step in the process of designing a social skills program. Social skills training can be of little value if newly acquired skills do not generalize to real-life situations and result in improved peer acceptance. A number of procedures should be implemented following the initial teaching of social skills to encourage generalization and peer acceptance. Several considerations, techniques, and strategies are listed on page 12 of your packet. Stop the tape and review this list of important procedures to promote generalization.
Refer to page 13 in your manual. Homework assignments and the use of peers warrant further discussion, considering the importance of these two procedures in promoting generalization and maintenance of social skills. Homework assignments can provide independent practice of the social skill outside of the training situation. Some important guidelines that can assist you in increasing the effectiveness and value of homework assignments are included on page 13. Systematically involving the student and peers should not be overlooked as a method to enhance social reciprocity. Peers can play an important role in modeling, initiating, prompting, reinforcing, and providing feedback for appropriate social behavior. Peer-mediated interventions such as peer tutoring and the use of a variety of cooperative learning structures are usually taught to the students by the teacher. These strategies can play a powerful role in promoting pro-social behavior. Additional suggestions are also included on page 13. A list of commercially produced social skills programs have been included in Appendix C. These programs all incorporate many of the elements of effective instruction. Depending upon the needs of each student, these programs may be modified or adapted as necessary.
Refer now to Appendix D. Here you will find a number of additional references and further readings that may be of assistance in designing social skills programs. The final step in the process of designing a social skills program is to evaluate as noted on the flowchart on page 14. A checklist of important questions have been included that will be useful in evaluating the effectiveness of any social skills program in terms of program components and student performance. Stop the tape and review this information. Check your understanding of the key points related to social skills instruction by completing the self-check activity on page 15. Then check your responses with the feedback provided at the bottom of page 15. Stop the tape and complete this activity. Translating research into classroom practice by effectively integrating social skills instruction into the ongoing curriculum is an essential ingredient for each student's success, both in and outside of the school setting. Now that Mason's teachers have invested instructional time in the teaching of appropriate social behavior, Mason is looking good and acting good.
Oh, thank you, Mason. That was nice of you.
You're welcome.
How was school today?
It was really good. I got an A on my history exam.
Great.
Wow, fantastic.
Did really well in that class so far.